Okay, my name is Todd Ripplinger. I'm credited as the visual effects supervisor, although it was very much a team effort. I wrote the script and I did most of the compositing, as well as edited and cut the music and added some of the effects on the music as well. Anyways, that goatee you just saw on Dave Dolak was completely added. I'll tell you a little bit about how I do these little pieces of work. The goatee was added just by taking his original chin, masking it, and then upping the brightness and contrast, and or taking down the brightness, upping the contrast, and adding a little hair, a little original technique I have. So that scene right there, where we start out in the Sorbonne and go into the lab, is one of my favorite parts because it was a lot of work and mostly done by Mark there, but a lot of 3D and a lot of rendering. So this is probably my favorite shot in the entire piece. It was one of the first shots I did where you can actually see Curie is a 2D object, but it's in a 3D space. In fact, almost everything is a 2D object except for the shelves and the desk. That's kind of the theme we wanted to go for here, and it seemed to work out. Here you can't really tell that everything's 2D, but it is. Everything was shot on a blue screen in our studio, and then all composited together in After Effects and Lightwave. Like, for example, we took the original footage shot in front of a blue screen with a backing plate and pulled a matte with Ultimatte, and then exported a frame sequence which was then imported into Lightwave and mapped onto flat planes. The planes were then maneuvered around to do the different, to be where they're supposed to be, so all the objects look like they're in a 3D world. As well as, well, a lot more goes into it, but I won't bore you guys with it, and you can figure it out on your own. This is the science hall. It was a lot of fun doing, although it was one of the last things we did, so there's a lot of detail in here that you probably don't even recognize. Animators always tend to do that just to amuse themselves. See if you can find it. Working with the actors here was a lot of fun. I had an opportunity to work on set with them while I was supervising the blue screening. It was a lot of fun trying to get the emotions out of them, watching the director and the producer work together. I actually made a cameo appearance in that shot, if you look closely, and if you know what I look like. That was one of the most difficult shots to do, because you saw how she walked there into that scene. She was walking in the original footage, and we had to actually move the plane. That was another tough one for rotoscoping. I had to rotoscope around her fingers there in each of the objects, along with the Ariel requested overhead shot. And that's another really cool shot. There you see her little breath coming out of her nose. It was a lot of fun. Here the music gets really upbeat, and Mark and I really like this music, although a lot of other people didn't quite think it fit, but we're determined that it definitely fit the piece, and it was free, so we thought we'd use it. So this is that's kind of a hack job there, because we didn't have a lot of time there to do, or a lot of time or a lot of budget left to work with to work in 3D to do that scene, so we put that together there. Incidentally, everything was made kind of with a regular without a lot of coloring, and then afterwards at the end I did a simulated 24 frames per second, as well as added the dirt and grain and dust and scratches, and there's a trapped hair in the lower left hand corner if you look closely, as well as frame jitter and all that, so to make it look like an old movie. And I also added took the soundtrack and added some scratches and some dust and whatnot. Anyways, the finished product looks pretty good, I think. Alright, well, thanks a lot for watching.
8 to 5, 7 November.